Hello and welcome to the Old Man Orange Podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes, and today we got a super special episode of Old Man Orange Presents Via VHS Podcast episode, and this one here is the late Christmas special, because it was supposed to come out during Christmas, and all sorts of chaos happened, and lo and behold, it just never came out right on time, but it's coming out now. So with a late Christmas special, we're talking about two big movies, both Christmas and Hanukkah, all represented here. So join us for some January holiday fun. Let's jump on in.
So welcome to a very special holiday extravaganza episode of the Via VHS Podcast, your virtual video store. And this week this is weird what we're doing. It's a very bizarre double feature, and really it's the result of us. Well, it's the result of two things. One, we couldn't decide what we wanted to pick,
so do both.
to do both. Yeah, and the other reason was something else that was an audible in the first place is because I was tired of talking about movies where the parents die.
Well, and lo and behold, all these movies have the parents dying in them.
You know, yeah,
even Emmet Otter's dad died, so it's just dead parents Christmas.
You know, see, so I picked Emmet Otter because I was like, I can't do 8 Crazy Nights because I know what happens in that one. I can't do the sad parents dying thing again. I need a break from it. And then lo and behold, you're right. At least he doesn't, die during the movie. They don't show it. They're just like, oh, I miss Pa. But I know you were laughing your ass off when Pa was dead because I was like, God damn.
That's what I just thought. I was just like, dude, maybe I didn't put two and two together that a lot of Christmas movies involve dead parents as part of it. Especially when your dead parents was a snake oil salesman, like a literal snake oil salesman.
Yeah. Who wants to oil a snake? I told my wife, I came to a realization, other than Home Alone, and if you want to count Die Hard and some other ancillary Christmas movies, other than those, I don't like Christmas movies. I love Christmas. I just don't like them. A Christmas Story, I don't like it. My least favorite movie of all time is The Polar Express. I despise that movie. I loathe it with every fiber of my being.
Especially with that really nerdy kid in there.
The nerdy kid's terrible. Oh my God, he's terrible. And then they all have
except for it does have Steven Tyler. That does make for one golden moment.
It has Steven Tyler, but then they're like, hey, what if we made all the elves absolute nightmare fuel? What if they all were just like had these like gangster accents? And it's like, what? And it's Robert Zemeckis. He directed my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, but that was when Robert Zemeckis was in CG land. He was stuck in there for a long time. It's almost like he literally took the red pill and just went too far in, or the blue pill. I can't remember which one. The blue pill, I guess, is what he took to go too far in. It's like him and Brendan Fraser got stuck in CG land and it took them a long time to both get out of there.
Yeah. Well, the Polar Express. I hate that movie. I hate A Christmas Story.
What about Jingle All the Way? It's got Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
It's been a while since I've seen that one, so I'm going to give that one. I'll say that one's okay. Is what I'll say.
Anakin Skywalker's kind of being a little bitch about his dad getting him too good of a present. I think he needs to go live on the rough streets for a year and come back a man. But
yeah, I'm not really fond of that one either. The Santa Claus, the first one's okay.
I like that one.
Yeah, the first one's pretty good. There's 2 and 3 can eat every dick there is, but I like the first one. But yeah, I just don't. I'm ready for our Christmas movies to be over. I'm ready.
Yeah.
So like I was drafting what we're gonna do in January. Like I threw out some ideas. I'm like, I'll give this to you later, and we can pick some movies together. But I was like, man, I'm so ready just to get out of Christmas. So there we go.
Well, you know what? If anything, we're going to go back to 1977. Mm-hmm. We're going to watch some Emmet Otter's Jug Band Christmas, the ever classic Muppets, Jim Henson, like old school movie. The one that's actually kind of has a lot of experimental stuff for puppet stuff. And they learned a lot of new techniques during this movie. So it has kind of like a historical value for that, you know. And I know it was definitely one of those ones, probably for a certain generation, this movie is really kind of big. And then it kind of has been forgotten on the wayside as time has gone on.
This is kind of like a low-key niche Christmas classic for a lot of people. There's other people I've heard mention that they watch this every year. And for good reason. I actually did like Emmet Otter a lot.
Yeah, I think it's really fun.
It is really fun. First of all, so if you've never seen Emmet Otter's Jug Band Christmas, it was released on December 4th, 1977. It's a TV Christmas special by the Jim Henson Company, and it's narrated by Kermit the Frog at the beginning and the end of the movie. Where it's like a 50-minute
apparently
long thing.
In the original version, which I guess I've never seen the original version, Kermit the Frog actually narrates through the entire movie, but for some reason when the DVD came out, because that was like when Disney bought Jim Henson and all that stuff, yada yada yada, the DVD version cut out Kermit the Frog scenes, and then I think that's the one that I saw for the first time, and then later on, even on the Blu-ray, they put Kermit back, which is the version we saw in the beginning and end, but apparently they never restored he has narration over the thing, which is kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah, I would like to hear that, but you don't need it.
No.
The world that they built, man, is so impressive. It is so impressive. The attention to detail, just the immersiveness of it. How do they do the water thing?
Yeah.
That was blowing my mind. So there's a part. Well, so these are they're Muppets, and there's a part where they're like canoeing on like a river and they're singing, and I'm like, how are they? It's like real water. Like it's not, the water's not fake. So how are they doing it?
Yeah.
It was really blowing my mind because, like, when you watch like the making of particularly Empire Strikes Back. With Yoda, they had to build all these holes in the floor and do all this
so Frank
crazy
Oz
stuff.
is just like underneath, like.
Right. So I guess that's how I was picturing this being made too. Because you don't usually, with the Muppets, you don't usually see the bottom. You don't see actually them walking. You just kind of, but I'm like, how are they doing this on water? But some, like you mentioned, so much experimental stuff. But the songs are funny and catchy. It's just really, really, really well made. But all the characters are just the attention to detail with the way they're dressed, and they're just so well designed. And I really, really liked Emmet Otter a lot.
Yeah, no, the quality of this movie is so cool. I think that's the thing. You watch it and just everything about it, you're just kind of blown away by all the puppets, the marionettes. I think it even has one of the original, like almost like RC puppets that they ever kind of created and everything, in there. And then just the characters are kind of fun. And I know it utilizes that old Christmas Story. Well, I can't think what the heck their name is.
Tales of the Magi, but...
Yeah, maybe that's what it is, because I know that there's also, like, back in the day, there's that Mickey and Minnie episode, or whatever you want to say, short cartoon that has a very similar story, because it's pretty much, what this one is there's Emmet Otter and then his mom, and they're kind of trying to make ends meet, and they do a bunch of odd jobs and so on like that, but they just want to have a good Christmas. But in the process, they each have this idea that there's this talent show coming up and there's $50 is at stake, but they got to sell off one of the other one's prized possessions or like destroy it to try to win this $50 and make for a great Christmas, And I always think there's that Mickey Mouse one too. I think Mickey Mouse has to like Hawk is like harmonica or whatever, and then Minnie, like, I don't know what the hell she sells. Her dishwasher or something like that, and
There's that other story where I can't remember what the man wanted, but the woman had like really long, beautiful hair. So the husband was going to get her a hairbrush, and then she was going to get him something. And she cut her hair to sell, buy his present, and then she got the hairbrush, and it's like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very good little quaint Christmas story about the real meaning of Christmas, and not about the gifts and all those things like that. And it's just man, it's so wholesome. It's so unbelievably wholesome. All the characters are really, really interesting, and I've been meaning to watch this for years. Very 70s. Very 70s, because you have that I don't know how to describe it, but in the late 70s, early 80s, you have this weird kind of country comeback.
It's like a country folk kind of thing where it's like it's really all, especially in the late 70s, because the South is popular. It literally is like number one for like movies when that was like unheard of, and just that kind of culture and mixed match of kind of like bluegrass and country and folk and all that stuff is kind of like the neat stuff to have. John. It's kind of like that John Denver era where John Denver stretches across a lot of like territories.
Yeah, it's just, this is when a lot of variety shows were still, on TV, especially at Christmas time. And, you have all this interesting stuff. But, yeah, this was one I've been meaning to watch for years and years. There's a girl on TikTok I follow named Annie Marie Tillman, she's ridiculously funny. And I had seen Emmet Otter, and my wife jokingly mentioned watching it because I don't think she's ever seen it either. And I was like, yeah, I'll watch that, ha ha ha. But then I heard her talk about it. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this is like a thing. Yeah. And a lot of people watch this every year, and it's Jim Henson at his finest. And I read, as you probably did too, this was like, a test run. This was his, Star Wars special editions. He was testing out technology to see if they could do a feature-length movie and put it in theaters.
Yeah.
And there was a testing for a lot of stuff, but they passed every test they could because everything about this thing is so well done, so intricate. Like, you think, oh, we're doing a TV special, we're not going to bring the A game. No, they brought like everything, and this is actually underappreciated.
It really is. And, you mentioned wholesome earlier, and it realistically, I can't think probably of a more wholesome movie that you can have than Emmet Otter's.
Yeah.
It's like one of those ones, like, there's like nothing bad, going on in this or something like that. Everything is about the good, the messages, the characters, all that stuff. It just works.
Yeah, it reminded me, the banter at the beginning of it. So they have a really funny song about a really fat otter in her bathing suit, and how it's the biggest bathing suit ever at the beginning. It's just really funny and witty, and just kind of like sets the tone. But they have some banter early on. So they're going down the river, and Ma's trying to hawk stuff. She's trying to sell these little socks, and then like she trades them for some pumpkins, and she's like, hey, I can use the pumpkins to make pumpkin pies and sell those and then get some more wool for the socks. And then the son is making fun of her for like, yeah, then you could use that to make more pumpkin pies, and you could use that to make more socks, and then go on. And she laughs about it, and it reminded me of my grandparents because it sounded just like a conversation they would have. I was dying because I was like, oh, this is my mom and papa right here. Except my papa was the one probably hawking stuff more, but man, it was just, it's so wholesome. It's just very, very Americana, even though it's Canadian.
Yeah, it's Canadian, but Canadian, that is the other America.
yeah, America Junior. Oh man, yeah, Emmet Otter. I watched it on Prime.
It's on Prime.
I watched it on Prime.
But apparently it's also on YouTube, so a Shout just has it for free on there. So
yeah, I should try to watch it on there. I wonder if they have the same one with Kermit at the beginning, because I didn't know Kermit was going to be in it. Like, I knew this was Jim Henson, but I didn't know it was Jim Henson. Like, I didn't know it was like the full thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really, really impressed with this. This is as good as any of the Muppet stuff.
Yeah.
But especially the models and like the high shots when you're going over the town. Like, you're just like, I want to live there. This is a cozy. It reminded me of being like on a dark ride at Disney. Mm-hmm. And you're like, especially like Peter Pan's like flight or whatever. And you're just like looking at the town below you. And it's just, we're being like a really good model train set. But, man, they really went all out.
Yeah, no. Everything about it's just so cool, and just the set designs, the characters, the Muppets or the puppets, whatever, all that thing. It's just neat. And then the fact even when they get to like the talent show and so on like that, and you just kind of see all like the kind of goofy characters that appear there and so on.
Yeah. And of course Frank Oz is there doing his Frank Oz thing. And my favorite character, I meant to look who voiced it. My favorite one was that porcupine. And he has his like wheels coming out of his coat or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like with the hat on and everything. But it's just they've got that like 70s like group of like friends kind of thing that they did in like a lot of animated TV shows, or like even it's just very, very wholesome late 70s time capsule. I mean, it's almost 50 years old.
Yeah, it's weird to think that how old this one is,
Yeah. And apparently they've been trying to remake it for a while, which will probably screw it up.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm like, remake it? Like, what?
Why?
Yeah, what do you do? Like, I hate to sort of say this is like one of those ones that's like timeless. It has not aged one bit, because it's puppets. I think that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, there won't be as much attention to detail. They'll use computers in there. And then also it's just this is taking place at some time in the past apparently. So why change it? You know what I mean? It fits the look of it fits the time that it's, being placed in, so why?
Yeah, because I feel like it's supposed to be like almost like 1920s-ish or something.
Yeah.
Like, back maybe 1930s, kind of Great Depression era, where $50 is a lot.
Yeah. And they were doing anything. They were like, I'm not joining that talent show. $50. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to show? Where do I have to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun little quaint movie. If you've never seen Emmet Otter, go watch it.
Yeah, and you get all kinds of fun songs in there too, and so on like that, and it's a nice 45 minutes, but it still feels like you're almost watching a whole movie, but without ever extending too far.
Wonder why it's not on Disney Plus.
I don't know. It's like I kind of wonder if this is one of those weird loophole ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it might have been. Maybe I think it was that Disney bought the Muppets, but maybe they didn't buy Emmet Otter. But because Kermit the Frog was in here, that was the weird part. So there was that period where they had just like, no, we own Kermit. We own him now. We own his green ass. Don't you dare put him in there.
Yeah.
And then maybe Shout Studios kind of worked out a deal, because I think Shout Studios is the one that puts this new version out.
Yeah, I know that the original version showed on the CBC in Canada, and it showed on HBO here. Probably at the very early stage. I don't know how old HBO is, but it had to be really early on.
Yeah, because I think it said like it showed in HBO in like 81, so it's like really early days of HBO.
Yeah, so maybe they have like the American distribution rights or something like that. I'm not really sure, but yeah. But it's a really fun, wholesome movie. It's going to be on the Christmas rotation because my kids liked it.
That's cool, yeah. Because that's always one I always sort of wonder. These are those movies that when's the point when it's like not going to be cool to kids anymore?
It's so like whimsical and just kind of like awe-inspiring. Just the world that they built. It fits right in. Like they watched Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And which is basically just Mr. Rogers remade. Like they just took all that Mr. Rogers stuff and
just took the Vietnam stuff out and
yeah. Like he's a tiger now. There's like a tiger cub or whatever. So it's it's good, but this stuff is even better. And so the kids kind of liked it. This Muppets kind of like they're kind of timeless.
Yeah, no, I would like to assume that they are, but I'm just always kind of wondering that. It's like, it's just like sometimes with 2D animation and so on like that, like it kind of like lost out to like CG, and it almost has looked as like upon like if you're looking at like rotoscope or if you're looking at like claymation or something nowadays.
Yeah,
I feel like there's some kids that view it like that. Like they're looking at like, old King Kong movie or something when they see a 2D animated movie.
Yeah, Muppets doesn't really, at least for my kids, doesn't have that effect. Now, I put on Gumby the other day, and they were like, what the fuck is this? Like, because I was just scrolling through, I think I was on Amazon. I was like, hey, look, Gumby. And I put that on, and they were looking at me like, what the fuck is this? So, yeah, I mean, Gumby did not translate well, which in fairness, I don't know if it did even when we were kids.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching it a bunch, like usual, but,
Yeah, Gumby. Yeah. Yeah, and then it was ruined by Eddie Murphy, like for a lot of us. I'm Gumby, damn it. Speaking of Mr. Rogers, he just ruined a lot of childhood stuff.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah. That's how we answer the door in my neighborhood. Who is it? But yeah, Emmet Otter. Kind of what I was expecting. Also kind of not what I was expecting more of like a Muppet variety show, and like some celebrities come in, and we're here at Emmet Otter's Jug House, and come over here and we're going to play a tune, and here's James Taylor, and James Taylor comes in. That's what I was kind of expecting with this. And, there was going to be a narrative, but it was going to be between like celebrity guest appearances. But no, it's a full blown like narrative story movie. A short one, but it's, on TV, it'd probably stretch it to an hour and a half. So, Yeah.
Were you thinking like that John Denver Muppet movie? Have you ever seen that?
Kind of. Yeah, I was just expecting John Denver to show up and James Taylor and maybe Carole King or something like that, or whoever else they got. Here's Aretha Franklin and then
Paul Stanley.
Yeah. Okay, kids. Well, you know what'll put you in the Christmas spirit? Here's Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper comes in. Well, she would have been great for the...
It sounds weird. Like, I almost feel like I could really picture Alice Cooper in a Muppets thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, especially in this one, because they have that River Bottom band, which we didn't even talk about.
I get. You know what? Now that I think about it, because of that band, this might be more like 50s era then.
Yeah,
because that band I think is supposed to be kind of like they're like the Greasers, they're the rock and roll guys. They're almost kind of borderline being kind of like heavy metal in this movie.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's hard to really place them because it just sounds like 70s rock. I mean, it sounds like Foghat or something,
Yeah.
And but yeah, there's another group. Emmett's. They're poor, and they're trying to make some money for some Christmas gifts, and then here comes these guys in like these cars, and it's like a big old jalopy, and it's banging and making loud noises and smoking, and it's like a hot rod, and they're just being total douchebags. And of course they're the ones that win the talent show. Sorry, I'm ruining it for everybody. But,
I love how it goes to show you could be the biggest ass in the entire movie, and guess what? You could still win.
Yeah, you would think the crowd would have been. I was expecting the crowd to be like, "Boo! You knocked over my fruit stand," but everyone's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, rock and roll."
Yeah, heavy metal, hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So get
this jug band out of here. We need some real tunes. I like that snake guy on guitar.
Yeah, hell yeah. And the fish was clever. They always have they have a fin that's a fish, but it's always in different forms of water. When he's in a bucket one time, and then he's in like an aquarium, and it's crazy. Which was clever. The whole thing is clever and good. But yeah, that Alice Cooper definitely could have been part of the I think it was the River Bottom Nightmare Band or something like that.
Yeah, the rock band was just called. I think it was the River Bottom Gang, but their band I think was called the Nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
They literally had like an Alice Cooper like name.
Yeah. Well, but yeah. Sorry, I had something on my screen there. I had to move it around a little bit. But anyway, yeah, Emmet Otter, Jug Band, Christmas, fun times on Amazon. You'll be hearing this on Christmas Day. When this is released, if you actually listen on Christmas Day, which I don't think most of our listens on this one will not be on Christmas Day. But if you're still in the Christmas spirit, you can go back and watch Emmet Otter's Jug Band Christmas on Amazon Prime or YouTube for free. So
so you got choices.
Yeah, and cool. If you don't see the Kermit narration, know that it is there, and you can watch the other version. And I know the Amazon version does have it. So
yeah, I think the only way you could get the non-Kermit one is you got to go buy the DVD. The one from like mid-2000s, which is the one that I watched for the first time. Remember when I was like a teenager watching Emmet Otter, which is kind of a weird time to watch that movie.
Yeah, it is.
Just two 15-year-old guys sitting down watching Emmet Otter's Jug Band Christmas together.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, turn it to Skinamax. Yeah. It's a novelty thing at a certain point. It's just like, we're going back in time. But real cozy, warm, analog goodness takes you back to when there was good Christmas commercials on TV and you're popping popcorn and chestnuts roasting on an open fire and all that bullshit. So Emmet Otter's Jug Band Christmas, that's the first of our two movies. Yeah, first two movies.
Now we're going to go into our mix match Hanukkah / Christmas adventure with 8 Crazy Nights, which is funny because I've been literally telling people, like, I'll run into somebody and be like, hey, it's the third day of Hanukkah, and the look that people give me in California, they stop, pause, like they don't even know how to really respond to what I just told them. I think in their mind they're going, is this guy Jewish? What I'm so confused. Why do you bring up Hanukkah? It's so weird because nobody's had like a good reaction to like when I mentioned that it's Hanukkah. I'm like, because I told people like, hey, I'm gonna go see, it's the first day of Hanukkah, I'm gonna go watch 8 Crazy Nights in theaters. It just happened to be we were doing this podcast, and it just happened to be that they actually had a showing of it.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy that happened like that. Because I actually saw this in theaters when it came out. And I think I've told this story before, but we went to see my friends and I was working at the movie theater at this time. And when I looked back at the box office, because I do have the the tail of the tape here. But when I look back at it, I remember so vividly this period of time because I remember all the movies being in theaters. I remember who I went and saw different movies with. It's just like a very, just poignant time, I guess. But I remember I went to see with my friends, probably a few weeks after this came out, The Ring.
Yeah.
And we went in there, and my brother was with us for some reason, and we watched a little bit of the movie, and we didn't get past that first scene very much, and he ran out of the theater. So then we had to go find something else. I'm like, well, these were all free. So I was like, okay, we'll go watch 8 Crazy Nights. But I think it was near the end of its run. So we're probably like, 2 weeks before Christmas, kind of like it is now. We're a week before Christmas. And we went into the theater, and nobody else was there, so they turned the bulb off. So we missed it. So I had to go back. They wanted to finish it, so we went back the next day and we watched it together without my brother. But yeah, I remember seeing this one in theaters.
Nice. Somehow, some way, I missed this one on its initial run in cinemas. I remember seeing it when it came out on DVD, and then watching it multiple times. From that point on. It's funny when we went back to see it in cinemas. Of course, nobody else. It was just us, and then there was one guy who brought his 2 kids to go watch this movie, and that was it. Which I always feel kind of bummer because I'm like, that's like that one people go like, "Hey man, I wish they'd play more older movies in theaters." I'm like, and that's the turnout.
Yeah,
especially on the first day of Hanukkah, nobody seemed to care.
Yeah, what if they played Die Hard? It would have been different.
Yeah, Die Hard. I have been to Die Hard before. I had like 12 people, so it was more.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah. This one's not as big as I think they might think it is. This one didn't do well at the box office initially. And I think of people of our age, because we're the target demographic.
Yeah.
For, really
100%,
anything.
100%, because this is in like the Adam Sandler golden age run.
Yeah.
And technically we're only a couple of years from it kind of petering out for a moment.
Yeah.
But it still is at the high point of like Adam Sandler movies. So yeah, in a sense, we are the 100% the target audience, which is weird. Why I always kind of wonder why this one didn't really make. I mean, I didn't go to see it in the cinema, so I guess I'm not helping the cause here. But I'm wondering exactly what was the thing that kept this one from doing, because it feels like it should be. It's only a $34 million budget movie, so you think that at least it could double that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This one's weird. I mean, if you've never seen it, 8 Crazy Nights, Adam Sandler, 2002. It's Happy Madison production. I think it's their only animated film, at least up to this point.
Yeah.
Only animated film, and it's very Adam Sandler. Like, it's even more Adam Sandler than his live action movies. It's just like, everything in there is very, very Adam Sandler. And I think the reason it didn't work, one, it wasn't marketed very well. Like, first of all, it's Hanukkah. It's just, I know this sounds bad, but the majority of Americans don't care as much about Hanukkah as Christmas.
It's sort of like, it does do the smart thing of doing it's both Hanukkah and Christmas intertwined together, and how those holidays do mesh, But I do think so. Perfect examples, like, once again, when I'm walking around town and I tell people, hey, third day of Hanukkah, second day of Hanukkah, and all this stuff, and the reactions I get, that tells me, I guess, a lot. There's a weird people. Yeah, there's a weird. I don't know what you want to say it is, but people don't take kindly to Hanukkah for some reason.
I don't even know if we have Jews in North Carolina. I'm joking. I have actually a pretty good friend that's Jewish, but there's not many. So I think that's one of the reasons. It's a Hanukkah movie. They should have played more on the Hanukkah song from Saturday Night Live, which was one of my favorite Adam Sandler anything, like O.J. Simpson, not a Jew. So
I mean, it is in the credits. That's how the credits go. They have the song.
Yeah, they need to tie that into the marketing a little bit more, I think. But also, the thing about Adam Sandler's humor is sometimes it really hits, and sometimes it just falls. It's almost like a stand-up routine that you're working out. Mm-hmm. And it'd be one thing for one movie to be really funny and the next one to be terrible. But really what was going on with Adam Sandler at that time is it was a joke-to-joke thing. Some jokes would land and some jokes wouldn't. And, this one's just so, like, they could do anything because it's animated. So like the physical comedy could be off the scale. It could be as ridiculous as you want it to be, and like absolutely absurd. And so it is very absurd, and sometimes in a good way and sometimes not.
Yeah.
But it is memorable.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's literally one of my probably top 3 favorite Adam Sandler movies. I like it a lot. It probably is one of my at least top. I'd probably say almost like top 2 movies I'd go to for my Christmas movies.
Yeah,
it's definitely one that I've always really enjoyed. I was like, I love the characters in it. Like, why did you fall? That's such an ethical fall.
If you touch the thermostat,
you'll get hit with a bat. Like just all Adam Sandler doing all those voices and everything like that, you know, to be like literally throughout high school, everybody would just do the Whitey voice to each other. Like it was such a, you know, a fun one to play with.
Well, this movie is very like, it's Adam Sandler would do this thing where he was like very mean-spirited, but then it would be wholesome later somehow, and like you'd turn it around. Like they would say the most egregiously mean things to Whitey in this movie, but then you love the character, and then like, oh, it's all forgiven because he's being nice now. But no, you are a massive dick. like the minute like you make fun of his feet, he has seizures, and you just laugh about it. Like he gets like put into a coma with a basketball. You're like, you know, all these things happen. And then it's just all forgiven, you know, because it's just, you know, he's a punching bag.
It's like the Scrooge story, I guess, in a sense. You know?
Yeah, it's weird, but yeah. So if you've never seen 8 Crazy Nights, well, first of all, I guess before we get into the review, we should jump into the tail of the tape.
I think so.
All right. So 8 Crazy Nights, I think it was November 27th, 2002. It's kind of weird because I feel like they released around Thanksgiving and they released it in the middle of the week or something. Because the first week it did terrible at the box office, and then the next week it doesn't do great, but it jumps up quite a bit. So I used the second week because I feel like that was the actual real release week of 8 Crazy Nights. So what was it again? Not December 7th. It was
November 27th. Well, it goes up against a really, really big movie.
Yeah.
I think that's the part that does not help it.
No. So number one, you have 2 of the most iconic characters back to back right here going against Adam Sandler in 8 Crazy Nights. So number 1, you have Die Another Day.
Yep, Pierce Brosnan's last one. Literally, I kid you not, this is one of those movies that, like, I know that, like, when it first kind of came out, everybody kind of talked down on. I think it's actually one of the best 007 movies out there. Is this one? I think it's so good. I literally just watched it again when I was in the hospital, and I was like, oh, I love the Living Daylights out of space. I'll say this: there is like about 2 or 3 little goofy parts that I think that's the thing that people always kind of stick to. But like, if you like don't even think about those, like the Halle Berry like CG scene where she jumps like 10 miles into the ocean, you know, that looks very unrealistic. And then, like, you know, of course there's like always the Bond surfing, you know, thing, but like not the surfing in the beginning, but surfing from the laser cannon, you know, Hammer of Dawn thing going on. Beyond that, though, like there's like so much stuff in that Bond movie that I think is like pure amazing, you know.
One thing that early CGI could not do was surf, because you also have Escape from LA, and that surfing is just like, oh god, it's so bad. Because the high five, yeah.
That one's almost like at that, because it's so early on, it almost makes it almost kind of cooler, because I love that kind of like the CG. You know, even in 1997, the CG is not even good. That like,
oh yeah. It's terrible. And in this one, I think Die Another Day looks terrible too. But I remember the night that in question, when I went and saw 8 Crazy Nights, the night we actually saw it, not the night my brother ran out of the ring, I got a Die Another Day poster.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, I remember having that because I remember it being like, I think like silver and red, I think 007 was in red. And yeah, anyway, it looked nice. And I started collecting posters at that time, and then some girl burned them all. But you know, yeah, not my fault. But anyway,
well, you know, I'm actually thinking this is probably the reason why I didn't see 8 Crazy Nights, is it came out against Die Another Day. I think I've answered my question right here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is you know, it's I know you love James Bond, and that's, you know, Pierce Brosnan's last one, and the last one for a while till Daniel Craig does his movie. So
yeah, there's a dry spell for a bit, other than the fact we had a lot of good games. We had the video games to make up for it.
But Die Another Day, number 1 at the box office, you have James Bond. Number 2 at the box office, you have a pretty iconic character, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, and so this is when those movies are just on literally fire right at this point.
Yeah. So you have, is that the second one or?
Yeah, it's the second one, and then the movie's only on its second week too. So it's like everybody's still going to see that.
Yeah. So Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is number 2. Number 3, Treasure Planet.
You got Treasure Planet on your list? I have Friday After Next for some reason on my list.
I have Friday After Next at 6th because we might be on different weeks. Because I went. So what I did was I went to the week of the 27th, and I realized that it was only in theaters for like one day or whatever. And then it started the next week. So I went.
Oh, so you went for the next week? That makes sense because I went to the 27th one.
Yeah, because if you look, the next one starts on the 28th or something.
Yeah, or it's on the 29th is the next section there.
Okay, yeah. So it was like only in theater. I guess it was a Thanksgiving thing.
Yeah, because now, 8 Crazy Nights is on. It did move up though because I think it was number 8 on its first week, and then it's now higher.
Yeah, that's why I went with the second week because I didn't feel like that was a really good. Even though this movie didn't do well at the box office, I knew it did better than that. So, but yeah, number 1, Die Another Day. Number 2, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Number 3, Treasure Planet. Very underrated Disney movie.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that is a good one. That's that time period where like they were actually making these really good original 2D kind of Disney ones, but I think Disney kind of realized it's like the 2D stuff's just not cutting it anymore.
Yeah, it was the end of an era. You were transitioning.
Like Lilo and Stitch was like the only one that kind of like got a pass. Like everything else kind of went by the wayside because there's Treasure Planet, and then there was the other one, the Atlantis one that was also pretty solid.
Yeah, Mulan and Tarzan were kind of like the last gasps.
Yeah, the last major ones.
Yeah, and then when Princess and the Frog comes out,
dude, nobody cares.
Yeah, I mean, people care now, but what was funny,
it's a great movie, but
it only came out a few years after these. And it was already at that time kind of almost like a novelty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, 2D animation? Like, we're going back to that? Like, y'all, it's only been a few years since we were doing this. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think the kids were just like, nope, this is stupid. Get this old shit out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
At least that one's kind of come back. They changed,
Splash Mountain.
Yeah, Splash Mountain, even though it's kind of a bummer because I do like Splash Mountain.
It's my favorite ride. I'm all for her getting a ride. Okay.
Yeah.
That movie should have what they should have done. And I don't know if it's the same in Disneyland, but they have like Tom Sawyer Island at Disney World. And they have this like kind of in Frontierland, this like little island or whatever. And nobody really goes to it, does it care? And they have Fort Wilderness out there. They should have turned that into its own bayou, river country, Princess and the Frog experience.
That makes
Put something
sense.
there, and then turn Splash Mountain into something else. Like, you don't even have the uncle in it. You don't even have the guy in it. So, Santa Claus 2, number 4 at the box office. That movie sucks. And then you have 8 Crazy Nights, then Friday After Next, and then Solaris, which I never watched.
No, I never did either, but that one doesn't look very good.
The poster, I remember the poster being fascinating for some reason. But that's all I can say about Solaris. But yeah, a lot of competition for 8 Crazy Nights. But again, Adam Sandler, very, very popular at the time, could definitely attract the MTV crowd. You and I were the target demographic of this movie, and we both saw it eventually. So, I mean, it could have done really well, but it's I don't know, man. Parts of this movie are so good. And some parts I really, really hate. But I will say one thing I love about this movie is the animation in it.
Yeah, because it's got that Iron Giant animation team. So it looks really good and it holds up really well. And I love that. I love the look. I love the town. There's really a lot that I think is just amazing about 8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, it's like I said, it's extremely Sandler. So if you love Adam Sandler, especially that era of Adam Sandler, like it's the most Adam Sandler thing that you could ever see. But if you've never seen the movie, so Adam Sandler plays Davey, and Davey is an obnoxious asshole. Like, I think that's another thing that hurt this movie is like, until in the middle of the movie, you hate this character. Like, he keeps getting other chances, and even you as the viewer are like, no, throw his ass in jail. Like, he's such an obnoxious prick and so mean and just vulgar.
It's a weird one though, but like, even though he's really mean, I still find him hilarious.
Oh, it's funny
when he's bowling. It's one of those movies that's like, you know, because that's the thing about like bullying. It can go one of two ways. It could be straight up hilarious, or they'd be like, oh, that guy's almost going a little too far. I think this one's still, even though he's gone really far, somehow, some way, he still always keeps it hilarious, even when he's being the biggest alcoholic dick.
You just, except for the alcoholic part, somehow you literally just explained Donald Trump.
Yeah, you could just be such a dick and just still be funny.
Gosh, like the Rob Reiner stuff this week was killing me when they asked him about Rob Reiner. Well, you know, he didn't like me very much. He was bad. He was not a good friend. And, you know, and like, sorry he's dead. Are you though? I don't think you are. It doesn't sounds like you're kind of happy about it.
Sound like you wish you were in The Princess Bride.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I saw this like headline that said former Home Alone star slams Rob Reiner. Oh my God, oh that's clever. But yeah, rest in peace, Rob Reiner. But yeah. So 8 Crazy Nights. You know, I guess this is somewhat inspired by the Hanukkah song that Adam Sandler had on the CDs back in the day, and of course they did on Saturday Night Live, which is where I saw it.
Yeah.
You know, and I used to know all the words to that song. And, of course, the big tagline, O.J. Simpson, not a Jew, my favorite. So, yeah, Adam Sandler's always shouted out, you know, Hanukkah, you know, made sure it stays in you know, the American conscience, that we, you know, are recognizing it a little bit.
Realistically, he's probably like one of the best proponents for getting Hanukkah across to the average American. Because I hate to sort of say it, like, but you know, beforehand it seems like nobody would really care, but like he sort of got it where everybody's like, oh yeah, Adam Sandler, Jewish, you know, Hanukkah, okay, we're down with that, you know. You
know, now that you mention it, I think everything I learned about Hanukkah was from Adam Sandler initially.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
he's kind of. He's like Rob Halford and like, you know, making like everybody think that, you know, being gay is okay, you know? Yeah. You know, it's like he just kind of converted everybody like, well, whatever, we still love the guy. Well, you know what? They're all great. Heavy metal.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's the same thing with Adam Sandler. He like, in a sense, he found a way to just really make, you know, being Jewish seem really cool, and everybody kind of wanted to be like that in the 90s, though nobody ever did.
We have this guy at work who was making coleslaw the other day, and he's bald, and he's got this like, he's got this thing, and he was like really going at it. I'm like, making the slaw. Yeah, he did not get it at all. But anyway, yeah, no, I mean, like the most I learned about Hanukkah at a young age was literally the Hanukkah song. Put on your yarmulke, it's time for
it sounds
like
Hanukkah.
Yeah, it sounds like the songs Phoebe would sing in Friends. Smell a cat. So yeah, it's yeah, he's kind of like, he's whatever the Jew equivalent to Santa is. That might be Adam Sandler.
Yeah, it's that, and I actually would say South Park. That's the other one that kind of put a lot of because of Kyle's character shines a lot of light on that too.
Yeah,
you know, or at least for our generation, for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know what that says about us.
Attitude Era. That's all I gotta say.
Attitude Era, baby. Yeah.
Attitude Era describes it all, because that is where like all that stuff falls.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's just something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, he's like the main, he's the Hanukkah guy.
Yeah.
Among other things. But yeah, this one was an interesting little experiment they had. Oh, sorry, I just went all over the place.
You're all tipsy there.
Yeah. This was an interesting little experiment they had. You know, they were trying something new, something different. And again, I think the movie's like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, 76 minutes. Yeah, so it's just a little bit short. But, you know, that's what a lot of animated movies are, you know. Yeah. I do kind of wonder also because, it is like an adult animated movie. I mean, it's PG-13, but it's still kind of on. It's almost like on like the hard PG-13 kind of list there. This is still the era where adult animation is still kind of a taboo thing. Like, it does exist, but it's trying to get mainstream appeal to adult animation. I mean, South Park kind of is starting to break that mold, you know, but it's still at that point where it's weird, because even now it's like one of those ones, like once they have those DC movies where, you know, like they're PG-13s, it's still throwing people off, you know. They just they can't make the connection between the two, that there can be, you know, kids animation and adult animation. So I kind of wonder if that also had like a weird thing to do with it.
Definitely, because when you think of adult animation at that time, you know, it really was niche pockets on TV. Of course, you had your Simpsons, which is not really adult, but it's like
at the time it pretty much is.
Yeah. So you had the Simpsons, and then you have like those little shows like Daria and Beavis and Butthead and The Critic.
Yeah, The Critic.
I love The Critic.
Aeon Flux.
Aeon Flux.
Pretty much anything on MTV, Celebrity Deathmatch. You know, you have that, and then of course you had the movies from back in the day, like Fritz the Cat, you know, and Heavy Metal and all that stuff. But those, once again, those are kind of like here and there. Even like anime stuff that's rated R, it's like you have to go way out. You have to almost like order it out of a catalog. It's not like you can normally find it anywhere. So it's still kind of not a mainstream thing. Yeah,
especially in theater, like TV, it was kind of like adopting it, and everything was kind of paving the way for South Park and other things like that to come along. But in the movies, you didn't have a lot of that. You know, it was kind of taboo. So I think that hurt things a little bit too. But it's also just conceptually weird. You know what I mean? It's like, because you see it's an Adam Sandler movie. I'm like, why is it animated? Why animate it? Just make make the movie like you make all the other ones. Which that's how I felt about it when it came out. I'm like, yeah, I want to see it. I love Adam Sandler, but why did he animate this? Like, what's the point in that?
Well, I think it's just that thing that, you know, everybody kind of wants to have their own cartoon. I think that's kind of it, you know, whether you have your own cartoon show or whatnot, you know, like kind of like having the Clerks cartoon show. I think everybody loves the idea of like, oh, I got my own you know, your own sitcom is one thing, but like, what's the next thing? Oh, I can have my own cartoon show in a sense, or cartoon movie even, you know?
I think so. I mean, I understand it more now. Like, but at the time I was kind of confused on it, because also my thought was like, if you're going to do animated, then change it up from your usual style. Like, what I mean is, if you're going to go animated for whatever reason, then, you know, kids are going to be interested in it. Just go ahead and make a kids movie. And then you can, you know, take the raunchy kind of like irreverent humor that he's known for, almost immature humor, and then put it, you know, into an actual live action movie. So it's like, that was always my thought. If you're only going to do what you're already doing, then why make it animated? But then you could do stuff in this movie, like with the deer eating the shit popsicle, the peepsicle, and then, you know, Whitey falling out of the Christmas tree, and then just all the things that they do with him wouldn't work as well live action.
Yeah, because Whitey Duvall would be a weird character in live action. I don't know. Yeah. It would almost be kind of scary. It'd be like a horror movie, maybe.
It would be, yeah. And this is coming from people who just watched Jack Frost, so.
Well, because this is one of those ones where it's a pretty grounded animated movie, because there really isn't anything of, you know, there's just some over the top kind of gag like falls and things of that nature, and they mostly only happen to Whitey. You know, but everything else, yeah, it is kind of grounded. But that doesn't, I kind of like that, because that reminds me of like almost like why I think I like King of the Hill so much. Because when I look at King of the Hill, it's like that could be live action 100%. King of the Hill. You know what I mean? There's nothing in King of the Hill that says that it needs to be animated. You know, it's not like South Park where they can go to all kinds of places, you know, or even like Simpsons that might have a kind of a much more, you know, grander, like, you know, journey on what they're doing. The fact that, like, yeah, it's, you know, just kind of like a hangout piece. And even in 8 Crazy Nights, I think that's kind of cool. And just like, but by having it being animated, it just gives it like almost like an artistic overlay to it, so that it kind of makes this world seem more magical, more Christmassy, more Hanukkah-y, you know, more in the holiday spirit and whatnot.
Have you ever seen a movie with more product placement?
No, this movie is like humongous, and I apparently read something that product placement, it's not like they paid to be in there. It's just put in there, which is the weirdest thing. Yeah. Because this is the thing, is like they're in this small town, and 8 Crazy Nights. So they make it feel like it's a small town, but it's got like a 4-story mall. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, I can't like, that's the thing. I have the hardest time trying to comprehend what the size of this town actually is, because it makes it feel like it's a town of like 2,000 people, but then you see this mall, and this mall looks like it's bigger than like a 200,000, person, like, city. So I'm not too sure what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the sharper image.
Yeah.
That's no rinky-dink mall getting a sharper image, okay? Like, my mall, when I grew up in, Signal Hill Mall, look it up. They finally closed it and they just started tearing it down. Made me really sad, but that was the kind of mall that would fit in that town, because that's about the size of, like, what is it called? Dukebury, I think?
Yeah, Dukesbury.
The size of that town that they're portraying is about the size of the town I grew up in, Troutman and Statesville. So their mall, they had a mall, but it was, we called it the Small. And it had JCPenney, it had Belk, and then it had, didn't even really have a food court. It had a Chick-fil-A and like a little candy place. But this place has got the sharper image. You got Spencer's, and they showed all the stores, man. Foot Locker, Radio Shack.
Panda Express.
Panda Express, yeah.
Yeah, it's the weirdest one, because it's like there's a lot, and it's like not only that, like there's a whole song where all these like logo characters come out and sing.
Yeah, it's almost product placement in the movie, because even when they go get like they go to the ice skating rink and Whitey's doing this twirls and whatever, and skating around, and reminded me when like Yoda got the lightsaber. And he couldn't walk, and all of a sudden now he's
he's just badass.
Yeah, but even there they have like the Pepsi signs and stuff up there. The kids holding the Game Boy Color, like
or Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance. It's very.
I feel like Adam Sandler always just really likes product placement, because that's very common in like all his stuff. I mean, he even names characters like Colonel Sanders. You got the Subway product placement and like Happy Gilmore. There's so much stuff that he always has kind of tied into his stuff. Even just small things like just video games and so on like that will be in there.
Had a stick song in it. You have Mr. Roboto.
Yep, gotta have a stick song.
Yeah, you gotta have a stick song.
It's got basketball in it, early 2000s, but in the 90s like era of basketball, you still got the basketball scenes.
Yeah, he calls him Little Iverson, so yeah, Shaq. He calls him Shaq too at one point. So it's very early 2000s, like we're heading into their Attitude Era, unfortunately. Basketball, and Malice at the Palace and all that, but yeah, I mean, it's a very, very Adam Sandler movie. It's just like they took all the things that he likes, or like little characteristics of the Hanukkah thing being attached to him, and they just kind of shove it into this hour and 15-minute movie. And it's one of those, I enjoy it. I'm glad it's there. I'm glad I watched it again. And I like it. But it's weird that it exists at the same time, too. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. Like, it's one of those ones that I like. Every time I watch it, I like it a lot. Like, as I said, I think it's one of my favorite Adam Sandler. I was thinking about that in the last couple of days. I'm like, I really actually think it is at least in my top 3 favorite Adam Sandler movies. I like it that much.
Oh,
and just the songs are like, I think the songs are so good in this one too, because this is that time period for good comedy songs, just like South Park the movie, and everything like that, and Team America. Like, I love that kind of, it's that comedy music. And I guess that's the biggest thing. That's the reason why it couldn't be live action, is because they have the musical numbers. Because there was always that weird thing. It's like, for some reason, musical stuff works great in cartoons. The second you did the exact same thing in live action, it looks uncanny and weird. Something is off. But for some reason, musical and cartoons just goes together perfectly. And then you can have much more of a flow to everything and so on like that.
Yeah. You can be even a little abstract, You can do some weird stuff. Yeah, I mean, again, the animation in it is good. It's sometimes kind of weird that it is animated, but, I think it was ultimately the right decision. And especially with the stuff you do with Whitey.
Yeah, because then Adam Sandler could play Whitey, and Eleanor.
So I thought Dana Carvey voiced somebody.
I don't know. I just know that Adam Sandler voiced those 3 characters.
Okay. Yeah, I thought for some reason Dana Carvey was involved. I don't know why I thought that, but Yeah, it's a really, really, really fun one. I mean, it's something that I'm glad I revisited. Um, and it's weird that we're ending, doing Christmas, Hanukkah on Christmas, but
Well, that's how this movie goes, though. Since we're recording this on the third day of Hanukkah, this movie starts off at the beginning of Hanukkah, but it ends on Christmas.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I mean is this one, and it captures it all because Whitey's really into Christmas. Adam Sandler's character used to be, very much into Hanukkah, but there was a big basketball game going on and so on, and he was hoping that his parents were going to be there, and they never did. And this is the one where they won by 40 points extra, or they had to catch up by 40 points. And lo and behold, that's where we lose Adam Sandler's parents in a car crash, and he becomes an alcoholic for the next 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. More parents dying. It was just this is just rough, man.
I think that's just the Christmas story for some reason. I don't know why that happened to be, but it happened in a lot of movies. And somehow, some way, we just chose 4 or 5 movies. Well, gosh, we have to watch a few of them. Silent Night 1, 2, Emmet Otter's, Jack Frost, and 8 Crazy Nights. So 5 movies. We found a way that the parents die in every single one of the Christmas movies. Somehow, some way, I don't know.
We're fucking doing Die Hard next year. The mom lives in that.
Yeah.
And the dad.
Yep, they do. Dad saves the day. He blows up the Nakatomi Tower at the top.
Yeah, tell me it's not a Christmas movie again. Oh, well, it's an action movie and all these people die in it. Yeah, well, all these Christmas movies kill the parents.
Yeah.
So I want to go ahead and say, ho, ho, ho. I've got a gun, basically. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, well, I don't even know who's not saying Die Hard's not a Christmas movie anymore. That felt like something that, in the 90s, you could say, but people are like, well, wait a second. But by this point, it's no. It's more Christmas than other stuff. And Lethal Weapon's a Christmas movie, too. I don't care.
Yeah. My thing with that whole art, because I saw Macaulay Culkin today, and he was debating that. They asked him if it was a Christmas movie, and he said, no, it's not a Christmas movie because it could take place at, Memorial Day. Home Alone has to take place at Christmas, but you can
realistically, Home Alone could take place at Thanksgiving. They could go off on a trip. I hate to sort of say it, but Home Alone has nothing. It just happens to be at Christmas, but it's Home Alone is what the story is. In a weird way, Home Alone's actually feels less Christmassy than Die Hard.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, maybe that might be going a little bit far, but I mean,
because John Williams has that great Christmas score too.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, that's right.
And it is very Christmassy. Home Alone is the Christmas movie now. I think for most generations, it's the main one. It's usurped It's a Wonderful Life, I think, for a lot of people. But my thoughts on the Die Hard thing is, I don't give a shit if it puts you in the Christmas spirit and you like to watch it. I watch it every year at Christmas.
Yeah. It's technically a happier movie than the majority of these ones we watch.
It's definitely a happier movie than all the ones we watched because the parents live.
Yeah. And the bad guys die, and
guys die.
And just the douchey guy at the office gets killed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he deserves it. So Die Hard, if you want Die Hard to be a Christmas movie, it's a Christmas movie. If you don't think it is, then it's not for you.
Yeah. The only bad thing I guess happens is that that one detective guy shoots a kid and tells that story to John McClane and whatnot. But for some reason they just put him back on the force. They're like, whatever.
Yeah, it's just one kid. We have a lot of them. We have a lot of them here. So
that was a problem though. At that time, that's just like Lethal Weapon 3, where Danny Glover's like, I shot a boy. That kid also had a Mac 10. So you know what.
Yeah.
Just because he used to come on over and eat dinner with you, it doesn't change anything.
See, that's the thing. Lethal Weapon doesn't get enough credit for being a Christmas movie. It's just as much of a Christmas movie as Die Hard is.
And it did it 2 years beforehand.
Yeah.
Or 1 year
Lethal
Weapon.
Yeah. Or is it after? I thought it was maybe a year after. I don't know.
No, it's 87 because Die Hard's 88, I believe.
Okay. So, so Die Hard Christmas movie, if you want it to be. Lethal Weapon. Batman Returns.
Yep, Batman Returns is definitely a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I think Batman Returns might be more of a Christmas movie than both of those.
Yeah, because it really doubles down. Me and Ryan just actually watched Batman Returns again, and it does double down really hard on the Christmas stuff more than you even remember.
Yeah, it's a big Christmas movie. I mean, it's there's a lot of little ancillary ones. I've gotten to the point where Star Wars is something because the one silver lining of the shitty prequel movies, sequel movies, I'm sorry. The silver lining of the sequel movies, they started putting those movies at Christmas. And I remember when they did that, it was originally supposed to come out in May, and this is like, oh shit, well, we're going to miss the timeline. I guess we have to move these to Christmas, which was their plan all along, I think.
Yeah.
And now I think of Star Wars at Christmas time now, instead of the summer like I used to. So, there's a lot of little ancillary Christmas movies, but Die Hard's one of them. And Eight Crazy Nights, put it in the rotation. It's better than most.
Yeah, as I said, Eight Crazy Nights probably, if there was a movie I watched almost about every year for sure, I would say that one's kind of in there. Mm-hmm. That goes along with just Jingle All the Way, just because it's Arnold Schwarzenegger probably more than anything else.
Yeah.
And then one of my new ones has been Fat Man. Have you ever seen Fat Man with Mel Gibson?
No, I need to watch that one. I haven't
that one. Like when I saw that, I was like, this is 100% my kind of Christmas movie right here. I just loved everything about it.
I need to watch that. I haven't watched that one with David Harbour where he's a killer Santa either.
Oh, that's a good one too. Violent Night.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one
too.
I watched some of Red One last year.
It was okay. Yeah,
it was all right.
That's how it wasn't bad. Nothing amazing. Like if you didn't see it, you're not missing out on anything. But if you do watch it, you could still enjoy it.
Yeah. But Emmet Otter and Eight Crazy Nights, that's our Christmas picks for this year. And yeah, I mean, you have some animation there. You have, friendly, wholesome little otters. And then you have a snowman who comes back to love a grieving boy because it's also his father who's dead. And then you have Silent Night, Deadly Night Parts 1 and 2. And Christmas movies this year can kiss my whole ass because they're all depressing in some way or another.
Yeah, you got to go through a lot of depression to sort of get to the Christmas cheer, and then it disappears on you. Mostly is what happens.
Yeah.
Just when you think you got your dad back, he fades away.
Yeah. Arbitrarily.
So now, other than the fact that your mom just saw this, the town still thinks you're crazy.
Yeah. Jack Frost. The more I've thought about it over the past couple of weeks, I hated that one. I really hated that one. There was some things about it I liked. It was a coherent movie, but I hated it. Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2, loved it, but depressing. Especially the first one.
But for a horror movie, in the 80s, it's not like a fun horror movie.
No, it's really depressing. So yeah, and then we have these two where three out of 4 parents die.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Jug Bandit happens off screen, so it's not there the same way. The Adam Sandler one does kind of tug a bit because there is that moment where the parents are singing at him and everything at the card and whatnot. So
yeah.
It does have that there. But I feel the story wraps all together with a good message and everything like that in a turn. Just like Scrooge, but maybe not like that Bill Murray Scrooge where he changes just like on a dime, at one point without really any redeeming factors that seemed like it should have happened. But
yeah. Eight Crazy Nights is fun. It's the Jewish Christmas Carol, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or the Hanukkah Carol. But if you've never seen it, go watch it. Where did I watched it on Paramount Plus, actually. That's where I watched it, so I didn't own this one.
Yeah, I had it on DVD, and that's what I was going to watch it on, but just lo and behold, it happened to be in cinemas, so I was like, there's my choice right there.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, you got to take advantage of that. When you told me that, I was like, well, how serendipitous is that?
I literally was one of those ones, I just pulled up my phone, I'm like, I wonder if there's any, because I didn't think anything good was coming out in December for the most part, movie-wise, and I was like, I'm just going to check to see if something, and I was like, oh, Eight Crazy Nights is playing, and it's the only night it's playing. Just happens to be here at 6:40.
Jeez.
I did see that there's that new Silent Night, Deadly Night was in theaters, but I think it'll be gone by tomorrow. So sadly, I missed out on that just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it. I'm honestly tempted to go see the new Avatar movie just so I can watch the trailers because all the trailers attached to it look amazing.
Oh, interesting.
Because they have the Avengers Doomsday trailer, I think maybe Spider-Man Brand New Day. And that's the only way you can see them is in the theaters. And then there's...
that's good. That's how it should be.
I think so too. And then you have, I think maybe the Odyssey trailers attached again. And then you have, what's the big one? I can't remember what the big one. Oh, the new Spielberg trailer.
Oh, interesting.
for the new Spielberg movie that's coming out, which looks interesting.
Yeah.
The first trailer did not impress me that much, but it intrigued me very much, which is probably what I was going for. So,
Yeah, I'm always intrigued by what Steven does. If anything,
Yeah.
I'll go out of my way to see a Steven movie.
well, he's going back to his roots and doing an alien movie.
Okay.
It's called what's it called? Oh, I can't remember. You know, if I wasn't so tired, I could remember. But it looks really, really good. Disclosure Day or Disclosure. I think it's Disclosure Day. But yeah. So I might go see one of those movies, just for the hell of it.
I never saw Avatar 2, and I'm not interested in Avatar 3 realistically. I saw an article though where James Cameron finally said, "So I'm going to go back and make movies that are not Avatar." I'm like, good.
Yeah.
I hate to sort of say it, James Cameron, but it's been since 1994 since you made the last really good movie.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
The first
Titanic
Avatar
is interesting, you know,
Yeah.
but I don't look at that like that's like one of those movies where it's like, oh yeah, that's a James Cameron movie. I feel like that could be almost anybody's movie.
We need to do that movie.
We should do it. I mean, I still enjoy it, and I still love the nostalgia parts about it, but it's not Aliens, it's not True Lies, it's not Terminator. That's all I gotta say, James. Like, come back and do something like, you know,
It
do
might
something
be better.
anime. He's obsessed with anime. Why doesn't he not do more of that? Like, kind of when he produced Alita.
I have to ask myself a serious question here. We're just rambling at this point. I need to ask myself, do I like Titanic more than True Lies?
Do you? That's an interesting one.
I think I do. And I love True Lies. I love True Lies.
Yeah.
I think I like Titanic more. Because I'm one of those people who've always been a defender of it. I think it's a very like cliche love story.
Mm-hmm.
But what he does with that fucking boat, man, is so incredible.
No, there is a lot of impressive stuff in there, and don't get me wrong, I do enjoy that movie. And the second VHS is really good when things go into hell.
Yeah.
I remember that when I was a kid, that was the thing is most kids just watched the second VHS. They didn't watch the first part.
Yeah. Same. But and I have it on VHS right down here. I think everybody has that on VHS.
Yeah, there was a lot of those floating around.
I think people would just wake
After
up
that Titanic crash, those tapes were everywhere.
Oh my gosh, man. I feel like people just woke up and had it. I don't feel like it's like those things that are in your cupboard that you've never bought. Like you have those like certain things. Like I never bought this. Why do I have it?
It just appeared in the house.
Yeah, that was Titanic. It was just on VHS. It was just everybody had it. Like, oh yeah, it came with the house, I think. So
yeah, James Cameron just came in the night like Santa Claus and just snuck a Titanic in everyone's house.
Yeah, like you two putting that album on your phone. That's what James Cameron did with the VHS of Titanic, the double VHS. Oh my God, yeah, everyone had that shit. So, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed our little rant at the end. 8 Crazy Nights. Emmet Otter Shug Made Christmas. My hierarchy of the two, I'm taking Emmet Otter number one over those two movies because actually I will take that as my number one Christmas movie we reviewed this year over Jack Frost, over Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2. Silent Night, Deadly Night, the first one was the better movie.
Yes.
But it was so depressing.
Yeah, it is a real dark and downer movie.
It is a very dark and downer movie, but it's good.
Even our hero doesn't even get to fulfill his prophecy like in that movie. He's taken down right beforehand.
Yeah. Damn it.
It's literally like having the Lord of the Rings and having Frodo get to like the very end where he's going to throw that ring in and then somebody comes by and just shoots him.
Yeah. Which now that I'm thinking about
that is literally how the ending of Silent Night, Deadly Night felt. It just felt like he went on this whole journey, and when he finally was going to get like redemption for all this, it's like no, he's cut off.
I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't want it to. But yeah, Emmet Otter's Joke Big Christmas, go watch it. 8 Crazy Nights, go watch it. But if you're listening to this on Christmas Day, I hope you're having a happy, Merry Christmas. If you're celebrating Hanukkah, I hope your nights are 8 and crazy and full of lights and whatever else you celebrate, happy that. So any last thoughts before we get out of here?
No, I think that's just how our Christmas went, and that works fine,
Yeah.
different. I felt like I learned a lot about Christmas this time that I didn't ever think about until I put all these things together. So
yeah, it's been a journey. I'm looking forward to January. So.
Yeah, I think it's time to get out of that and find whatever's next.
Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate y'all stopping by. Have a good, wrap up of your holiday season. Hope you have a great Christmas and New Year's and all that wonderful stuff. And thank you for listening. Next time you'll hear us will be in the year 2026, and we'll have a bunch of new movies for you. So with all that, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Y'all have a good one. Via VHS is out.